March 31st, 1922. A quiet Bavarian farmstead called Hinterkaifeck. 6 people, a family and their maid, lie brutally murdered. The killer? Never caught. The motive? Never proven. But the details. The details are what turn this from a murder case into one of the most unsettling mysteries in German history, because for days before the crime, someone or something had been watching them. Hinterkaifeck was a small, isolated farm about 70 kilometers north of Munich. Living there were Andreas Gruber, 63, the strict, often disliked patriarch; Cecilia, his wife; Victoria Gabriel, their widowed daughter, who had 2 children; Cecilia Jr., 7 years old; Joseph, just 2, and the maid, Maria Baumgartner, who had started work that very day. The farm was remote, surrounded by fields and forest, a place where help was far away, and strangers rarely came. In the days before March 31st, strange things began to happen. Andreas told neighbors he found footprints in the snow, leading from the forest to the farm, but not back. They heard footsteps in the attic at night. Keys went missing. A newspaper from Munich appeared in the house, even though no one had bought one. Then, the family's maid quit suddenly, saying the house was haunted. The new maid, Maria, arrived on the morning of March 31st. She would be dead before sunrise the next day. It's believed the killer first lured 4 of the victims, Andreas, Cecilia Sr., Victoria, and little Cecilia Jr., into the barn one by one, possibly using the cries of another family member as bait. Inside, they were struck in the head with a mattock, a heavy farming tool similar to an axe. The blows were devastating. The killer then went into the house and murdered Maria Baumgartner and little Joseph in their beds. It took several days before anyone noticed something was wrong. The family didn't show up for church, and the older Cecilia's daughter missed school. Neighbors came to check and found the bodies. The barn floor was stained with blood. The house was silent. But the most disturbing detail, someone had stayed on the farm after the murders. Neighbors said they saw smoke rising from the chimney in the days after the murders. The animals had been fed. The cows were milked. The family's dog was let out and tied back up again. This means the killer didn't just murder 6 people, they lived among their corpses for days. Family feud, inheritance motive. Victoria's late husband was dead, but rumors swirled that little Joseph might have been the product of an incestuous relationship with her father, Andreas. Could this have led to violence from an angry relative? Former farmhand. Some believed a disgruntled worker returned to exact revenge. Wandering murderer. A stranger could have stumbled on the farm, killed the family, and vanished. But why stay? Why take care of the animals? Multiple killers. The methodical luring of each victim suggests more than one person. Yet no one was ever charged. Autopsies revealed that little Cecilia Jr. had torn out chunks of her own hair, possibly in terror, before dying. And the attic noises? If the killer had been hiding in the house before the murders, it means the family had been living with their executioner for days, maybe even weeks. The Hinterkaifeck murders remain unsolved over a century later. The farm itself was demolished in 1923. Today, there's only a memorial where the buildings once stood. But in the minds of true crime historians, the mystery still lingers, not just because of the brutality of the crime, but because of the eerie, calculated patience of the killer. Whoever stood in that barn, whoever watched from that attic, left without a trace. But they left behind a story that still chills Germany to this day. Some murders are committed in passion, others in greed. But the Hinterkaifeck murders feel different. Like the work of someone who didn't just want their victims dead, they wanted to be there, in their world, one last time, before erasing them from it forever.